Rush is the one that's got a microphone in front of his face, though. Say hello.
Hello.
Thank you. Let's get into it. Golden with another deagle buy on the pistol. The boys got brass.
Yeah, GG.bet echoing the sentiments of Fnatic being the favourites here. The Golden, he gets taken out very quickly.
Well, dear.
Oh. Okay, it's all right. Flusher has decided to win out on all the fights that are just about to be lost. JW touches the bomb, but not going to stick it. And as Poison does find JW in the end. So it's back to this kind of weird 2v2. Bomb did get dropped where it was, but they're going to take the time to go around the backtracks, which I quite like. It is Sapphics and Poison being very proactive in now what's going to be a post-plant.
Crims and Flusher. Flusher's got the responsibility of being the first man to check and contest. Crims looking for the afterplant secure. So he spotted him. Didn't spot both, I don't think. And yeah, finding that headshot, job done. Now Crims just has to wait. Kit has been picked up, but Poison with 34 points of health, this one's practically a done deal unless Crims makes a mistake. All he has to do is wait for the sound cue and count in his head. 5, 4, 3, 2. Here's the steps. That's the sound cue. That's the shot. Poison, have you really? Have you really? What a clutch! 3 kills in the round. That was Fnatic's all day long.
Poison stuck in yesterday. He won that 1-on-2 pistol round yesterday as well there. So the man, he's here to play. And
Meth.
He is part of that core of this team. Blame F, Config, and then Poison. That's the trio. That's the star trio right here for Complexity, and that's one way to kick things off. You were right. That was a bit of a fumble from Crims there. He already cleared the bomb.
Surprised he repeaked.
He didn't need to. Yeah, he could have definitely taken his time. So that is the mistake, and well, it's been made early from Fnatic. They will force buy through. Galil's, AK's, Deagles in the mix, and ooh, some damage done up here. Bron's actually been dropped across a Galil, but has also purchased in a Tech 9. He could have had utility instead of that, so probably a bit of miscommunication within the early stages here from Fnatic, but they have a chance to find Blame, making the sound cue, dropping down towards Sandwich, 2 rifles on the other side, and they'll be smoked off. So slow your roll here. Now we need to let everybody know the winner of this one, coming through from Group A, will be facing OG, who managed to make it through top of their group, Group B. And the semi-finals will be going down tomorrow, and then the grand final best of 5 on Sunday. So a lot on the line here in the decider match.
Ooh, it's time to learn a smoke, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know it yet. Oh, never mind, Golden deploying his towards that pop dog position.
So they've still smoked it off, but it does nothing. And let's debate and feign the idea they might be coming out main.
I actually kind of like NATO's chances here. If Poison gets the first shot off, which he has, it does draw attention, but he doesn't connect the bullets. Problems now. 3 on the way across. Spray not quite there for Poison. 35 seconds now extended as the bomb is planted. A big fight here for Config. Oh, he's caught Crims. And he's turned onto the others. Magnificent fragging. 3-on-1. Brodden armored. And does find himself the first 2. Maybe even the third. Spray's not there. And the round isn't either. That's going to be the double for Complexity.
Another plant, though. So keep that in mind here as we move forward. I don't think Fnatic... Well, actually, they might want to go for another buy. Brawl can get an AK and head armor, and they can get Galils or SMGs, something a little bit mixy out there for the others. So I could see a world where Fnatic do purchase on through. If not, a half buy. Scouts, Deagles, that kind of a...
Looks like the D.
Yeah, because the 2,900 is the loss bonus in the next round. And with the plan they've just gotten there, they already have a bank load of cash. So they will just be going for those pistols. 4 Deagles, P250, HE, Smoke and a Flash. That's all they'll be working with going into round number 3. So with the 5 M4 A4s, well, sorry, make that 4 and an AK-47, this should be a Complexity round. Golden really did drop the ball on that flank last round. I can't believe they were able to get 2.
Yeah, that was a real odd turn of events.
And then you think about the first round. Crims, if he just played that time a little smoother, you know, maybe just didn't have to repeat on that final point, you'd have had potentially 2 rounds on the board. These have been close, and they've been individual little mistakes.
Boy,
oh,
okay.
That's a little too far, isn't it? Does get caught off by that, so that'll be actually a big rifle recovered for Golden. Probably quite happy with this. Ooh,
good damage.
Hurting on Poison too. Lovely work.
Yeah, but these Deagles and armor, I like the chances for Fnatic. They'll juggle that M4 if they position correctly. They are partnered up as they currently stand, which does mean is a word I was trying to say. Flashed in, perfect, and that could be the double. Blame transfers beautifully. Not even having vision on their screen by the time the death is confirmed. Golden keeping it competitive, though. Does find the first. on that inner site, and that will force a rotate. Whether or not it's 2 remains to be seen. You can see Blame is starting to posture. Poison's in Z as well. Space made. Frag found. Golden has given them a way back in here, Chad.
Yeah, the bomb on Flusher right now, meaning they still have time to go down pop towards Yard, but that depends on what Golden finds and what Golden sees. So far, absolutely nothing. He's been given a clear avenue towards the bomb site. Once it goes down, which should be happening within the next 5 seconds or so, Complexity will start their retake. So keep in mind, the low HP of Blame and Poison, they need to be a little bit more careful about how they approach this. They have kits. Rush is rotating on over now. Flush has been upgraded to that Deagle.
How are they not paranoid about the flank? Neither of them. Okay. Closing the gap now. Flusher, here's them. Finds the low HP of Poison, and now Golden Swing nets them another. Blame would have to clutch this, an ace clutch to be specific.
He's going to save.
Yeah, he doesn't have the time.
Wow.
Great round. And they've done it with Deagles.
That little fumble from Config, doesn't that just open up this huge problem? It starts off as nothing, and then suddenly, Blame's just trying to keep an M4. Fnatic finally keeping it together long enough, maybe exploiting a mistake on the other side, and they get the round. This is a very close game so far, even though, 2-1 or whichever way you want to look at this. A couple of mistakes have been the gateways to these rounds being converted.
Yeah, it's the smallest margins when you're playing against an equal adversary.
Looks like Complexity are opting to force by here, so 2 scouts are out. An M4 for Blame. He was the one to carry that through with the save. Config and NATO down towards those Deagles, and a decent chunk of utility here. 4 smokes to work with, 3 HEs. If those nades can be used to find a frag, that'd be a good way to open things on up. But to kick this on off, you can see Rush over towards Ivy with the scout, Blame towards Stop, and Config getting on top of that red train. JW might be in trouble in a second here.
Yeah, this could be the Deagle headshot, but Config rushes it. Didn't want to stick around, of course, when there's a potential for a quick flick. JW posted up on that very expensive weapon, and he's lost his bodyguards. Config body bags too. That's lovely. He might even find JW here, caught by Brolin, trying to stabilize and doing a fantastic job at it.
So brawly, NATO Safix just
See his bum
tucked in,
and little
but not
butt cheeks.
tucked enough. Oh, too thick.
Too many squats.
Double cheeked up. Oh no, what day is it today? Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon. It's the 9th of the 10th, Lauren. I've got my wooden blocks. Thank you, Chad.
Did you update them yet?
Yeah, well, I think Trace did it for me.
Well, I guess
Oh,
for
that's
them,
nice,
they were
'cause it
here
was-
past midnight. So
Oh, that's true.
they at least got to see the Thieves get stomped 2-0, so that
It was a
quite nice.
horrible game to watch. if I'm
Yeah,
honest.
well, I think that the Aussie flag now will be flown with the Renegades going forward.
I've seen they went undefeated in their domestic season.
Yeah, them and Tai Lu.
Nice.
I would love to get Furia, Tai Lu, Renegades, and let's whack a couple of European teams in the mix. And
Yeah,
put
all
them
right.
on a server and make them brawl.
Oh, I love
Make 'em
this strat.
brawl.
This always just reminds me of yesteryear.
Who did this first?
Well, it actually pays off, at least for the first. They won't be peeking anymore, or will they? Yeah, triple peek. Here we go. Trying to guard the rifle. Another dink lands. They start to spread out, start to re-peek,
Oh,
and
no.
NATO Safix is having a round. Only a USP, 2 headshots.
Flusher only has the Glock. He's done that classic maneuver, and he needs to pick up one of these rifles.
Oh, this is getting awkward, Alex.
Config with another frag. This is just USPs, a fully bought up Fnatic. Lauren, you were
Look at
talking
Blame.
about the mistakes. You're right. Potential flank on the cards.
They just have to keep him interested.
Oh, they've done exactly that.
Not an easy shot to hit. He doesn't want to rush this. Does not want to screw this up. Oh no.
God, this is horrible.
It's okay.
For both teams.
It's okay.
What's
He
happening?
can handle this. Blame doesn't need to take a fight just yet. 60 seconds. Bomb loose on the site. NATO Safix has already been the hero, and he's pushed in and missed it. That's a risk. Blame trying to help him. Dancing around the site now. Brolin picking up the pieces and putting them back together again. Oh, good dink. They're both low.
They're both one shot.
They're both one shot on the stopper. Brolin solved the problem. My goodness, that was a sketchy round.
What is this game?
Roland's bailed them out twice in those mid rounds.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude, get me a
yeah.
4B because that was sketch.
Jesus, that was
Alex.
Just experimenting, seeing how it feels.
Just trying it out.
is that that's a pencil reference?
Yeah.
It is. It's a type of
And he
pen.
said
Yeah.
sketch. So
Yeah.
it's good, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well,
Well,
Well, it's not bad.
yeah,
I
it's
don't
not
think anyone would
it's
say
not my
it's bad.
softest ball. My hardest. If I was in my metaphor that I hadn't
Are you-
outlined of
are you
being a
pitching?
baseball pitcher.
I understand.
Okay, all
You
right.
understood where I was going
Yeah,
for.
yeah,
Softball,
yeah.
hardball. I realized when I was doing the League of Legends Worlds event, there used to be a Cloud9 player called Balls. And that people had to just genuinely commentate balls in the top lane regularly.
Okay, hold on. I
Balls
saw
and the
Balls. I'm not even joking. For Cloud, C9 balls. Am I making that up?
No, you're right.
Oh, and balls on the Rumble gets another 3K. That's not how they cast League of Legends, but that's not what I'm here for, fortunately. Counter-Strike, let's do it. Imagine calling it a 3K. God, that would be.
You'd be, trouble aplenty.
Oh, gets a frag on the Rift, and Config shuts down Grim. So we return to normality. Brolin catching a bit of flack as well.
In he goes.
Bibbidi-bobbidi.
We saw him.
Get off my property. Config knocks Brolin on his bottom.
The fact that he entry fragged Pop and then main is wild.
He knows he's got to be the hero. Do you remember the conversation with Keita?
Yeah. He said they need to step it up. Poison, Config, the big boys of this one here today. Now, they didn't have the best of luck yesterday. They got a bit of a beatdown sent their way.
Flashes down the ramp.
Look at this retake. So this is actually winnable. If Fnatic can get into the site and plant the bomb and not lose any casualties or take too much damage, they can win this round.
3 versus 5. The bar is set high. Chad acknowledges there's a way here.
Okay, that smoke. There's
What's the purpose?
One weight over here by JW. That's giving him 20 seconds to just hold connector.
Oh, it's so strong. Could be 2 here.
Yeah, there's the first. Looking for the second. Config
Nice.
actually outdoes JW there. Very surprising. That smoke did look very well situated. Good work from Blame, but time's ticking.
Have a smoke for the bomb here.
And but it is Flusher. Hold on. And we've seen some wacky rounds so far, but this would take, yeah, a bit more than that. So
I think he was just trying to save the
orb.
but I don't understand why. You've got Brolin who's about to have... Oh my god, that was so close. That was so close.
Are we just having one of those games today,
We are flying by our bootstraps. This is nuts. Okay, so this is Config entry frag into Pop as a CT, and this is Config pushing into main and finding another.
He had the 3 most important kills of the round. The JW kill as well to take him out with the AWP. That was hugely important. So that round was all Config. And he even defuses the bomb with a bee's dick to spare. So good stuff there.
Pardon?
Can't believe Config's sitting there with a fan right behind him on the cam. That's crazy. Never seen that before. Right? Fan just sitting there on the chair. 5v5 at this point in time. This does look like we've got a game on our hands. If your friends weren't tuning in, maybe let them know, because with everything on the line, the pressure mounting, we're getting some mad Counter-Strike already. A bee's genitalia determining the previous defuse by Chad Birchall's standards. Poison, drawn blood again. Golden splattered across the brown holes as Config prepares himself for his 10th frag. Bingo is not his name-o. Flusher rips the collar clean off. Nice work, 4 on 4.
Low HP though on 2 of these. JW needs this kill, and he's also down to 10. So there's 3 members of Fnatic right now. The Walking Wounded, Flusher, JW, and Brolin. Not going to take a lot to knock them out of the server. It's all on Crims' as Blame. He wants space. He wants to get a big frag here, and that's huge. He's taken territory. He's got the kill, and now leveled things up 3-3.
Yeah, damn. That puts them in a really dire strait here.
And also that back of that front of old bomb smoke they've just thrown means nothing because Blame already cleared Ivy. How as simple as that.
Blame has to step up. Config has to too. And well, both of those Danish flags are very much at full mast. Ooh, okay. Problems starting to arise here. Crims has manufactured another winnable round. Flusher's low. Wants to try and get that molly and create some space. He does exactly that. Pulls the crosshairs towards E-Box. Forces the fight for NATO. Crims has found it. Converted nicely. 15 seconds. The bomb needs to be planted though. And exploiting that is Poison. Crims saving it. Not too shabby, though. Again, Lauren, chaos manifests.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about Crims being an unsung hero. That time, he was quite pronounced. Very well played to him in the end to keep that together, because we've seen what happens once Poison hits that flow. We saw it with, 2 or 3 maps now. I think Mirage, he had a moment. Vertigo, he's had those. But for now, there's Crims basically keeping this all together. And this game is just, it feels very odd.
I don't know where Flusher's molly went, but I heard burning, so I assume it did force NATO into that fight with Crims. This should be an open and shut case. Nobody should be going down on that Fnatic side in a dream world, but we obviously don't live in one of those. I think the current year has demonstrated that.
What do you mean everything's fine?
Good shots, Brolin's keeping it clean.
Rush is still yet to frag, and we are 8 rounds into play here. He's died every single time. He has 2 assists, so he needs to make sure he converts one of those. As looks like Config will go down to Golden and just need a Sapphics here. 2 kills to his name. I'd say if I was Fnatic and you get away with some of these inner plays towards the B bomb site, go for a couple more. It's standard play. It's not even just targeting NATO. It's just you will see teams condition the inner bomb site on a map like Train, so it forces the CTs to go for more of a 2-3 defense instead of being able to lean 4 players towards that yard area. NATO will be going down here. Flushes finishes him off, and 5-3 is on the scoreboard right now.
Rushley, how is it observing this? Because it seems quite weird for us on occasion. This has been quite a volatile game. How's the observing side going?
I'd say as far as a Train game can go, if people don't know, Train is by far my least favorite map to observe it. So far, it's been fairly telegraphed for me, which is nice. But it is a weird one, that's for sure.
What do you make of the British snacks, Rush? Which one's your favorite?
I had a penguin already. I'm very excited about that.
I want a cup of tea with it.
Oh, that
I've got a real
lovely.
problem here, guys.
Please don't.
How am I supposed to open this bag of McCoys?
Pop it.
You can't right now.
Yeah, because they're going for a quick hit as well. But Alex, if you hit your cough button, you might.
No, I
get
can't
away.
one-handed
Alright.
crisp pack it. You're mad.
Maybe.
Blame is too. Look at him. He is going to
Oh,
expose his
yeah.
hitbox. That was what Crims was waiting for. Punish found. Opening kill found. They go on this? Or is this just going to be a little double pump?
Looks
Might set up a second wave. They can redo some smokes here. So it looks like Brolin's lining up one now over towards Pop Dog. And once they smoke off... Oh, it's just a flash. Okay, it was getting them out of dodge. And now they can play the 5-on-4 number advantage. I thought they might actually go for a reinitiate on that yard, but look how much has been baited on in. You can see here, Config pushed forward. You had Poison in tow as well, closer up towards E-Box. But Fnatic are retooling. It looks like this smoke will be going towards the back of the 6th lane.
Isn't that redundant? Has Config been in main?
He is now, yeah. So this is a deep Ivy smoke. Oh, okay. That is the back of 6 one. It wasn't the one we saw from FaZe. And that just covers off one side of the Train. But we've seen this approach from Fnatic before, and it's been found out because Complexity actually have the information. NATO, you're going to be tested, my friend. You need a couple.
No fun for him so far.
No, we saw Cold Terror in that spot looking really quite diligent, but he falls away from it and finds Flusher on the fallback. Now, Sight has been lost. He's trying to keep them from being aggressive. That's very bold to do that against JW. That little hop-up could have been his death, and it will be Brolin to find him in the end. Smoke goes in, Rush moves forward, and there goes the kill. Now it's a 3v3, but the retake's going to be tricky. Golden, Crims, all standing tall, looking ready to fight. But Poison trying to keep this together.
He has the molly, no smoke on the CTs. This becomes a problem if they drop it now, but there is still time. Rush can start to close the gap. Poison to bait him. He's expecting it. JW holding the close gap, hoping for the flick. It will be a quick flick and a miss. Now he can push, and it's a perfect play from the 2 remaining. Poison and Rush convert. Recovering an AK-47, and the 4th round as well. Looking good into the inner sight retake.
Some wobbly aim from Golden there. Felt like he was more under pressure than what it looked like from our perspective. But all in all, Complexity did handle that well. Once you know where the last player is, especially if he's an AWPer up towards high ramp, that kind of maneuver closing down that distance when the bomb gets tapped is always a great little play. Brolin unable to get the smoke out in time and did go down in transition there. So NATO did buy enough time. He only got 1 kill, but he bought enough time. The rotation came on through. So if we're going to be giving a passing mark, we would be right there for Mr. Safix himself. Smoke towards the yards. It's going to be the AWP out on Poison's hands, and an MP9 for Config this time round. Let's see how aggressive Config wants to get with this.
He's often known to have a bit of a penchant for the push. Go on, Brolin. Having a look, cursory glance. The flashes deter him. Nade could find JW here. Good damage incoming. Smoke towards 5. Smoke in response. Just a bit of a utility exchange so far, so nothing to write home about. Flusher is positioned to drop another set of util while simultaneously holding the IV push. Krem's patrolling above Pop Dog. Config only an MP9. It is the only sacrifice they've had to make economically. Here we go. JW is the first body to be dropped. Blame F, ensuring that main push will be delayed. Ooh, okay, perfect timed flash. Does get Golden out, but Blame will react.
Golden. Oh, the timing on that flash couldn't have been better, but Poison still somehow finds Brolin. Fight back through. This is all very tentative. Config's still in a very curious spot. It does get swept aside. 35 seconds now. Clock begins to ticks. Ticks? Good word, Lauren. Crims, though.
Good frag.
Still being very prevalent, even on the low HP. 13 to be precise. Poison trying to deal with him, and he does quickly. Dispatches of NATO. Safix! The timing couldn't have been better for him.
Can't get to the AWP in time, but all good in the hood. He gets the frag necessary, and That is the 5-5 equalizer. I'm not sure how I feel about the Flusher, the Fnatic money.
Yeah, I think they should buy
Yeah.
because also Complexity are in a rough spot as well. You can see here as they drop guns across, they've got a couple of missions being made. Rush onto an MP9, Famous for Poison, Config yet to buy. For Fnatic, they have enough for Brolin to get out an AK, the same for Crims. Golden could do exactly that as well. AK head armor in play and a flashbang as well. And then for JW and Flusher, they can operate with pistols. There's no reason that this one couldn't look potent for Fnatic if they opt to make things to a buy round here. You can see with the scores on the doors, Brolin with 12 kills, 121 points of ADR, Blame 11, 12 for Poison. They're the big fraggers in the server, hitting double digits within the first 10 rounds of play. And look, a lot of plants have come on through. You can see rounds 1, 2, and 3. We've had the bomb either through defuse or detonation, and then later in the piece 6 and 9. As the Brits now, teamwork at an all-time high there.
Wow. That was, I've never seen two people work together in unison to open a crisp packet silently on broadcast. Brolin's out, and so is Flames fragging the feed. Lovely. Poison could be in a bit of a jeopardy here. Might want to drop those nades. He's in a lot of hot water. Good spray control. Catches the straggler. JW vulnerable. Caught through the spray. Config keeping it competitive. This is a big duel. And Crims has won it again.
Oh, even up. 2v2.
Between Crims and Golden, I feel these two have been doing very, very well. Brolin in there as well being a big saving factor to this. Now, Config's positioning is still going to be a problem. Golden just simply couldn't account for it, leaving Crims in a 1v2. Now, NATO Safix and Config. You know where Config is? NATO Safix! Welcome to the big leagues, as Alex likes to say.
Oh, dear.
On the broadcasts. That was a little brutal.
Oh,
Crims? Oh, I believed in that. I thought it was going to be a nice little quick one, little pop. Wasn't to be.
Okay, well, another close round might actually force Fnatic into going for another one of these buy situations. If you take a look right here at the amount of money they're working with off the $2,400 loss bonus, it is enough for them to purchase with some upgraded pistols. If they want to go for an all-in, I'll understand it because they win a round, they will break Complexity's bank balance here. And this re-aggression by Config is wild, considering they did find themselves in a 2-on-2. Him pushing forward is not normally what you'd see. People would normally having their skates on, backpedaling. It will just be the partial investment right here from Fnatic. It's going to be a couple Deagles coming on through and a P250 for Flusher with a nade. And Rushley, this is your time to shine.
All right, it's Train, so it's a little bit hard. Maybe MC, do you want to take this round, actually? And then...
MC's just casting at home now. He's like, this doesn't make sense.
No one can hear me.
No, MC's he's observing right now, so I can actually, you know, sit back and look at actually what's going on in the round.
Try.
Well, give us 100% on this one, Rush.
I'll try to do it. Only a few Deagles in play, quite a few of them, I guess. The Deagles, especially on Train, I do see them pop off an awful lot. So we'll see what happens. I do like Config's little position down in the pop dog. He's been destroying here. Some Ivy control being taken. I would hazard a guess they're just going to try and explode onto A. But they do have 4 CTs here. A little peek from myself over there. Rush. He's a nice guy. He does have my Twitter, though. So
yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah, we'll work on that. But JW, he's finding a little bit of time in here. He's definitely going to get this kill onto Rush. It's messy. Does get it, though. Blame F couldn't get the trade in time. And now they're posturing towards main 2, so could get dicey here. Config's playing spoiler, as Chad would say, so if things do get out of control, I'm sure Config can wrap it up, but Blame F's getting more inquisitive. It could have gone very wrong for him in that case, but it's going all right. Looks like Ivy's about to get pressured heavily. Poison, the famous, Chad's favorite weapon. Quickly deals with all 3, actually. That's pretty nice, and that's the round secured. No dramas.
An episode of Haikyuu comes out tonight.
Oh, is it true?
Yep.
We need to get
Friday.
Lauren to watch Haikyuu, to be honest.
Big if true.
Lauren, if you class that as a slice of life, that means you have to class Devilman as a slice of life too, because technically they're in high school, just so you know.
Technically.
Technically speaking.
Technically, Lauren.
Would you say that is the definition of slice of life?
I don't know what.
That it's in high school?
I've never seen one of those, to be honest.
You've got to have a backup to that argument.
Come on.
You've got to have more than that.
Come back, have a think. Next time there's a bit of a downtime, we can talk about the definition of slice of life.
All right,
How
I'm
about
back
that?
on the buttons. I'll see you guys soon.
All right. Quite like that observing, though, from old MC.
Yeah, gosh, you know, it's always nice to know you've got a strong second in command.
Oh, jeez. All right.
I mean, look, there's a reason Astralis have got 7 men and a couple on the bench, you know? Got to keep them on their toes. Got to keep them hungry.
All right. Well, Fnatic are hungry for another round here as they've stalled out a little bit. Complexity up to 7, around 13 of play coming on through, and Suffix still just rocking a less than ideal weapon. MP9 is in his hands. I would say Fnatic might go back towards the inner plays or try and do a bit of an inner split, because Rush is having a tough game and they're losing a lot of fights towards main, where Blame is already tucked on in, and Popdog, where Config has been patrolling. So if I'm Fnatic, pressure Ivy and pressure towards the box holes for an inner side split. We'll be putting more pressure on your rotation man, which will be Poison and Rush.
Okay, smokes and flashes. That's going to get Blame more and more interested, like a moth to a flame, a blame to a smoke. And there he goes. Golden catches him through it. JW's wide, though. Oh, jiggled nicely and well controlled. That's a nice North American M4, and he has.
Oh, no.
You're absolutely right. Poison's trying to pick up the pieces here. A flash and a peek, that's all he's got. Only an M4 as well. Swatted by Crims. They may assume they have site control here. How much site control can they take? A deep flash?
Do they have any smokes? No, nothing.
They're going to have to play Brown Hall side.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe a deep smoke could have facilitated a little bit of a cheeky push-up, very Fnatic-esque, but obviously can't do that now. And it does look like, though, Flusher was considering something, maybe just checking the back lines. But for now, Crims postured, waiting for that pick. But Rush, NATO, Suffix, all of them actually, Config and Poison, all going to pour together. Bronze in a bit of trouble here. Yeah, overwhelmed. Now the classics, Crims and Flusher trying to hold on to this. And now Crims going to be called upon. NATO, Suffix watches, waits, and delivers.
Exactly what they needed from NATO there. Good hold. Poison finding the defuse and the double kill on the way back in. Well handled. Looked like Fnatic had found a gap there in the complexity rotate, but well controlled. I want to see this double kill from Rush as well. The jiggle here on JW getting caught out.
Love that.
A lot of these rounds have been very, very close, like we were highlighting with the pistol, and then the second round forced by. But Complexity is still keeping their head above water here. If you are Fnatic, you want to be getting at least 6 rounds on this first half, considering how close they were. And we take a look at Rush's lovely little bedroom, hotel room, gaming room, office space, everything as he's displaced on the other side of the world here, but displaced towards Ivy as Poison gets a kill onto Crims. Smoke out from Rush to slow down the ascent of Fnatic. Flash through, immediately taken back. JW wants this space and he gets it. If Rush is brave, and it looks like it, he'll be taking a fight. Damage done to JW, he'll think better of going for this.
Nice frag.
Config with some aggression there. They've offered up 2 kills. This is good for Fnatic now.
Yeah, they need to exploit this weakness now. Maybe a gamble being called by Blame. He is still heart beating, brain throbbing in the server.
Throbbing brain is a very visceral explanation. I didn't really love it, but it worked. It's
Yeah,
fair.
you know, like there's some celestial stars starting to spin around him and he's getting all ethereal.
Oh man, don't you hate when you just get all ethereal?
Yeah, man.
Saffic's got to be careful now, but he can depend on Blame to hold the back lines for him, ensuring that no one could try and push across from Ivy to maybe get some additional pressure.
Worked
But
out.
it has, as even with the bomb plan, there is only 2 of the Ts to hold this together.
Poison being low isn't that much of a caveat as long as NATO and Blame are proactive. Utility too. That's Blame's frag. Should be. But Brolin adjusts and Golden's taken down NATO. Suddenly the bodyguards are gone. He has to do it with low HP. 15 to be specific. Golden, 74. He can just find this frag. 1 bullet will do. Poison has the AWP though. A quick flick misses. Time sensitive. A fake. Golden's surely not going to eat this one up. Yeah, Poison, you're done. You're cooked. Another fake. And Golden pushing a good shot, but no time. Not again. Not this time, Poison. Denied by the Golden big brain.
Oof, and look at the bank. You can see just how close Fnatic have been able to keep this for the entirety of the game, as Complexity going into the last round of play are going to be working with very, very limited cash. Fnatic with the bomb plant, with the win bonus coming through, will be able to get a much more serviceable buy. But lucky for Poison, he's still able to get out that AWP. Glass Cannon with a flashbang. Blame down to an MP9. NATO onto the Deagle with Kevlar. They're only rocking 3 flashbangs and 2 smoke grenades for the entire defense here for Complexity going into the last round of the first half. This should be a Fnatic round. They're not dealing with a lot on the other side. If they can avoid Poison's AWP, and Golden cannot.
It's impossible, it seems. He's always finding a way in. This time now, Smoke's Bloom, but little too late. CTs don't have the weapons, but they're getting the frags anyway. A huge upgrade found. Blame. MP9 versus AK. NATO, only a Deagle to defend this site. He's going to reposition. A bait shot fired is the word I was trying to say. Poison.
Feuer.
Missed his shot. Feuer. Freu. Just Crims. problematic. Finding one, won't transfer. Flusher left to clutch. And the flank works out. 9-6 on the half. Complexity came to play today. Fnatic on the ropes on our first map.
Look into your eyes, I see the colors of your soul, and I recognize every single line, every single roadblock. We are two hearts that beat in time, and the tide was looking down all night, blocking out the sun beneath. Maybe we can change our stripes and colors. You're the only one I see, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I met your door. Go outside, stay up all night, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I met your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Into my past and I count the numbers of the dreams that I left behind. I don't even care now that I've discovered a new kind of peace of mind. Up above us, looking down on us, there's an angel I know. We don't need to worry or discuss much. It's time for me to hit the road. Take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I met your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I met your door. Go outside.
They certainly have been to hell and back. Fnatic still in the server 2020. It's IEM New York. First game of, what is it now? 5th day, Chad?
4th day.
Fourth. God, time flies when you're having fun or not. But regardless, we are ready for Complexity to continue where they left off. It is time for the Fnatic CT side. It is definitely not an easy task on the T side of Train. Certainly with a stand-in, I imagine there'll be some more hurdles to overcome.
Yeah, I think on the T side here, for Nader Safix, for him to fill into a couple of these roles as part of the executes for Obo, hopefully not the most difficult thing in the world, because we have a competitive match on our hands here. Fnatic only walking away with 6 within that first half, and as we get back underway, they still retain the favorite from our bookmakers, GG.bet. Oh, JW, the woes get worse. He's only has 6 kills. He's had a bit of a rough one here on the pistol as well.
Really has. They're pushing. Crimson Brawler and smoked off. Pushed off. Crims losing his... Oh, wow. Nato actually lost his head. And that's a config clawing it back. So numbers favor them.
They've actually locked in Brolin here, so he has issues from Pop Dog, main, and behind him.
Good shot.
Okay, what does Flusher and Golden do with this then? Trying to find the difference maker. Not going to get it. Config showing him how it's done. Flusher now. Trying to work this back in. Honestly, Complexity picking up this pistol. Let's say they run the next 2.
Yeah, they're off to a flyer here.
Yeah,
if they
this-
convert against the Force Buy for Fnatic coming up next, I think Flusher will just try and hold on to his Kevlar here. If he can do some damage and get some kills and have 300 coming through the bank for each of those, not too shabby. But all in all, you have to just reflect back. Okay, well, the armor's been ticked on down now. Can't upgrade to head armor for as cheap as what would have been possible. So some of the issues, you just have to remember the pistol round to kick off this game when Fnatic on the T side lost that 2-on-1 clutch to Poison. Crim's unable to convert that one there, and then they had the Force Buy that got dicey as well. Config will take out Flusher, putting a couple of bullets in the corpse there just to let him know who's boss, as this was the map pick of Fnatic, and there's a real opportunity for a 2-0 in favor of Complexity here as we move into Vertigo. It is a map that we have seen Fnatic winning 2 on the trot, but they were both overtime games.
True. I mean, the way Samuelson framed it, he described it as, tier 1 practice. It's a tournament, and of course they'll be presenting all of their new ideas, favoring them twice since G2 and Vitality on Vertigo, but it is, of course, a new way to develop their map pool into that 7 they deem as necessary for their climb to the top. Blame climb into the top of round 11.
See you later, Force Buy. This one's done very quickly, so unless JW can play spoiler here and get a couple of kills. Oh, here's one.
Ooh, okay, here we go.
Poison's low as well, so's Blame.
Look. They'll bop them out. No problem. Crimson Flusher. Nah, nothing going.
I wonder if, Fnatic lose this game here, and obviously I'm starting to make claims very, very early, but we know that it's not good enough for them to keep losing. I wonder if there would be some changes in the camp, at least the talk of changes in the camp going forward if they continue to lose throughout the rest of this year. I know it's the online era. I thought earlier on we wouldn't see teams chopping and changing rosters so much, but apparently there's no time like the present.
Yeah, I think losing to Complexity when...
The stand-in,
Yeah, and I don't know if I want to say the win conditions are there for Complexity. God, words are hard right now. Let me see. Like, who's playing well? Like, we do have Config and Poison having quite a good
trio,
game.
yeah.
But it's like, it doesn't feel like Fnatic are playing like, hey, we're the solid 5 here either. They're playing to Complexity's tune, which is the more, I guess, worrying part to me.
Yeah, they fumbled some of those rounds in that first half, right? This could look completely different if those coin toss rounds went the other way. But the fact that Complexity have been able to hold on and continue to find this impact, this is great stuff. Knowing that OG will be the team that they play within the semi-finals, that's also a game that Complexity could win. And the more maps they play together with NATO in the server, the better they'll be looking. So Complexity here, now up to 11. 6 for Fnatic. It's most likely going to be the 12th round on the board for Complexity, and then Fnatic are going to have to run the gauntlet here with their backs against the wall on the CT side.
Yeah, it would be quite the gauntlet run. Especially on T-side, Train, when you have this lead, you can go for some more kind of Hail Mary maneuvers, something that perhaps you wouldn't necessarily be throwing out if it was 11-11. But you can take a couple of those chances with the more audacious maneuvers and flipping that coin even when it isn't that 50-50 that a coin typically represents. 3 of them towards Ivy, though. It is just the pistols. I will reiterate the saved scout. Saved CZ. It is practically a full eco. And that communication has also been had over in the Complexity camp.
Yeah, do you think... Rush, what are your thoughts on this round? Do you think it has any sort of life to it here? Do you like this
I mean,
out?
I like this HE setup here, because if it lands, then Poison's definitely going to get chunked down by Crimson Scout, I feel, but that's a brilliant smoke. So I don't think there's going to be much to do here. I think it's just going to be a complete mop-up. It's going to be incredibly hard to see all the kills through the smokes, but look at JW. Oh my god, he gets some.
Oh, it's
Crims,
possible
though.
now.
Oh, it's really possible now. Okay, not as much now, but I think there might be a gun he can recover somewhere around here if he's allowed to, so let's see.
I think Blame has him covered off right now. So as soon as he peeks, Flusher from range almost. So guys, just quickly here, I know you've all been asking about this and the people at home, they've just been begging for more news on this. Australian scientists say an increasing number of babies are no longer being born with wisdom teeth as humans evolve at their fastest rate for 250 years. We have an extra forearm artery, we have shorter faces, and extra bones in our feet and legs are among the anatomical changes in modern humans. A study by Flinders University in South Australia has found. Back underway here, round number 19, as the guns will come out. AWP for JW, AUG for Brolin. Diffuse kits in play and utilities. So Fnatic have everything they need to start posting rounds on the board, and they need to start now. This is a decided match. Losing, you're out. Winning, you go through to the semis.
I do feel as though Fnatic need to recover here. This is starting to spiral away. Once you get those double digits, let alone 12 against you, it does get scary, but JW holds his nerve. That's going to be Ivy controlled as Poison goes down, who's been quite game-changing, to be completely fair for Complexity. Poison's been very, very much on point. Oh, I was wondering, could we have a little Crosshair look at some point, Rush? Not now necessarily, but, you know, maybe a quieter round. I'd love to see what Crosshairs we're working with.
Anytime.
Double nade towards Brolin. Flashed up. Smokes there, draws out the fire. That's about it for now.
Show me Brolin's Crosshair. Of course.
Yeah, he's got those eyes.
Yeah. Wow.
Ooh, not working out for him today. Flash is still working with the dot.
Yeah, he
Yup,
is.
teeny tiny.
That's my Crosshair right there. I love that.
It's ridiculously invisible.
Oh,
Sorry for all our mobile users that just thought their screen broke.
This is winnable for Complexity now. 30 seconds left. They're going to reinitiate onto Yard. So through main will be the lion's share of the attack. Actually, I think all four will be coming through main. And the longer this drags on out, Fnatic, they're going to get a little bit itchy feet. Golden taking territory. He hasn't seen anything.
Oh, he missed it just by a couple of seconds. JW misses the shot. So suddenly Complexity have a bit of a chance. They have a start and they have a gateway opened.
Yeah, more than that.
Oh gosh, this is looking so good for them.
Yeah, just like that, the frags come in. NATO up on the train, finding himself an upgrade as well. 13, Complexity making Fnatic's map pick look a little sketchy here. It started off so close, you know, it was 1vX's just transferred and a totem drop successfully executed between the two of them, NATO and Blame. It's good evidence to suggest that their T-side woe is certainly not going to be an issue, and the NATO Safix caveat is less of that. Nice. Round 20 then. Frustrations rising in Sweden. Deagles and HGs. Maybe they're going to stack them up towards main, I wonder. Looks like they are pulling pins. Poison, he's far enough back, firing off a shot to try and draw those HGs out. He's not falling for any of those silly reindeer games. Double nade down to 64. I don't think he'll complain.
This is looking too easy for Complexity at this stage, and knowing that Vertigo, their map choice is coming up next, you have to start asking some questions. Are Fnatic just a little bit asleep right now? Are Complexity playing a great game of CS? Well, maybe it's a little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. Another one of these partial investments most likely means we will be seeing round number 14 on the board for Complexity. If Fnatic can win this, and they can actually get a bit of life within them, then maybe that'll spark them to get the gun rounds on the board as well and fire them up here. But as these rounds continue and these clock starts to trickle on down, this is not the playstyle in which Fnatic thrives. They like it a bit more brawly, a bit more mid-round. So if Complexity keep it clinical and clean and isolate all of these jewels across the map, then Fnatic are going to have a rough time. Here we go, 43 seconds remain. The attack coming over towards Yard now, flashes out, config to entry. Two on the other side near E-Box. Flash is great. Browns both of them. Config with the spam. Gets Matt Rush and Nader Savix actually take both of them from him. But a kill's a kill, and now it is the 3-on-5 situation. 25 seconds remain. Over towards the bomb train they go, and Rush continues to comb forward. It is just W, and he is dead meat. So now Crim's backline scout. Not more than that, I think, on the cards here. As the bomb is planted, the 40 seconds begins. He's spotted up Poison. So he knows he is towards the backside of the bomb train, but there's no reason for Complexity to push on this. They don't need the scout. They can even let him hold on to it. The loss bonus going into the next rounds will be the 3,400 for that of Fnatic, so they will be able to get the full buyout. No dramas whatsoever. But no rounds so far on their CT half. Config's close. He's probably going to take Crim's down, stab around the corner. No scope to the head. It's nice, but it's just a little bit of damage. And, well, Complexity with the Crims, okay, with the win bonus they're getting right now, the money's going to trickle on up. Things looking fantastic for them. Most of their players above that 5K mark, allowing them to buy in the next round, even if they do lose this one right here. Poison carrying across that AWP, and some AKs in the mix as well. Things looking very, very good for Complexity here.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have been born without wisdom teeth. I'm really jealous of the next gen of humans. Wisdom teeth suck.
Do you have to get them taken out?
Yeah, and part of my tongue is still numb.
Ah.
It was about 10 years ago I had them taken out. Sorry for scaring anybody who's about to have their wisdom teeth out, but it is elective surgery, and
It's better than leaving them in.
yeah, the chronic headaches I'd get from it wasn't great. Make sure you do go to the
wrong way, and yeah.
All four of mine were impacted, but make sure you do when you go for back for your checkups. You don't want the dry sockets. Nothing worse than the dry sockets. I'll give you the hot tip.
Doesn't sound like fun.
No.
Sockets just in general in dentistry doesn't sound like a word I'm
dry
interested
really
in
doesn't
hearing.
appeal to me either.
No, nor I. 14.
I had my teeth taken out.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, all of them. No, I had.
You weren't dentures.
No, sadly not. That'd be great. Wouldn't just pop them out.
Isn't there a fancy word for like fancy people dentures that other people get?
The veneers.
That's the one.
They're
Yeah,
not dentures.
they just like
They're like-
sand down your teeth and then put fake ones
Just
on.
kind of, yeah, sand them down to stubs and then glue on prettier ones.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hate this. I'm getting...
Anyway, that's the end of our dentistry discussion. Thank you for paying a visit to our salon. That's not where dentists practice.
Oh no, Alex.
Flusher and Golden have got kills, and that, my friends, is a round just like
There you
that. Dumb caster's not talking about the round. Golden just got kills.
Yes, at 14 to now 7.
And it was through the double orbs, ladies and gentlemen, on round 21, where Fnatic finally found their first round on the CT side. But NATO just wanting to do damage here. That'll be the name of the game on round number 21. You'll see the buy will come through in the next round for Complexity. They will be able to make it work. Well, they should be able to make it work. Will only be 1,400. So the question is Blame going to be generous and drop an AWP for poison? Or is he going to drop AKs? What's the option going to be? That's a great kill from NATO. If he can get 2 more, he doesn't actually need to win the round, but it's the magic number of 3. Limit that CT side economy. CT's having to drop across guns with that win bonus they'll be getting. Will not be able to drop across 3 rifles if only 2 survive. Taking these AWPs out of the equation is even more important, and you can see that he's in no rush. He's not going to swing out and just die. JW's position known now, has a chance against the main player who is low of Crims. It's a matter of time until he swings. 25 seconds now. And Crim swings, NATO goes down. Round 7 on the board for Fnatic. And the question is, does Blame want to drop an AK? Because if he does, then we can see a buy round coming through. Poison can afford one, Config can afford one as well. And that just means it will most likely be NATO that has to buy himself or Rush. This was Golden towards that B bomb site, slowing things down. And if they can come back into this Fnatic, it'll be good signs for them. But we did see them lose a 15-9 lead on Overpass just the other day versus Vitality. So we know that they can lose the advantages. Can they bring the advantages back in their favor?
Remains to be seen.
There's only 1 AK in play. Poison does have the AWP. So they've made this buy work. Tech9s, Mac 10, Deagle, Utility. Looks like they're just going for a B set piece, and playing retake towards inner will be Flusher. So they'll get the bomb down here, Complexity. Shouldn't be too many problems there. Golden rotating over right now. This will come down to the timing.
Yeah, smoke going in. Golden's moved up. This noted Flusher was there earlier. A little bit of util in exchange, but it's Flusher to find Config. And I feel that was almost a freebie considering how long that little kill feed icon is, but that's not for free. Golden making him work for it, and he's done well.
Nice.
Taking them out of a bit of a hole there.
Yeah, and Flusher's AWP frag as well is going to really put a bit of a wrench in the works. Finished off 14 to 8 now as Fnatic closing off their lead. Or closing on that lead they managed to accrue. But that was their last-ditch attempt. It will have to be something else now from Complexity, swallowing the bitter pill of the 9th for the Swedish roster. Question of how much damage they can inflict. Flusher doing good damage on the AWP in the previous round. Looks like he might want to take it for his role again.
17 kills for Flusher right now, leading the way with Crims on 19 kills. JW won't have another AWP out in this round. He'll just be down to the MP9. So let's see if he goes aggressively. So far, we see him over towards Ivy, and normally with JW, he loves a little bit of a push. As he'll be using the USP at range and the SMG for if they get a little bit closer. But surprised we didn't see him push Ivy. As Brolin's taken pop control, JW is just going to be playing this one quite passively here. Worst thing in the world would be for Brolin to give away this AUG. Now, he does have help in the form of Crims close towards Pop Dog and Flusher overseeing here. So this isn't necessarily going to be the end of the world for Fnatic. But they need this round.
No.
He hit it twice.
Oh.
Go on, Flusher.
And he gets stolen by a nade.
Wow. Poison, very unlucky not to convert that there. Flusher down to 3 points of health.
He's going to get as far away from those Glocks as possible.
Now it's just going to be 3 members remaining. Deagle, Glock, and a P250. So just a matter of time as NATO jumps across, gives away the position of the bomb. Brolin takes down Blame, and now it is just Rush with that Deagle. And he can't convert either. So close but no cigar on Flusher and Brolin, but they will survive. And Fnatic now starting to build a little bit of a bank of their own. The problem that they have is rounds. 14 to 9 is the scoreline here. Round 24 about to get underway. And it doesn't look like an AWP will be out on Poison. So maybe we see something a little bit quicker from Complexity. Not so pick heavy. Maybe trying to get that control towards Olaf, pushing on down. They do have the nades for it. So early smokes coming on over. 5-lane, E-Box, they're in the sky right now. Flashes as well, Molotov to hold them at bay, and it won't be fast. They've actually been slowed down from Fnatic here. Could be a second wave attack coming on through there. The need to isolate Brolin.
Oh, he's making it a little bit dangerous there. Does manage to find a way back, and does manage to find 2 with that as well. Burning alive though, 2 HP, barely stands.
Oh, and he hangs around. JW's just taken away Blame F. How did that happen? Through the smoke. Mustn't have seen that, must have just heard or the call or a blind shot. But now, as quickly as the rounds came, they've fallen apart for Complexity. 2-on-5 situation here, as it just is probably a minute and 10 seconds of hanging around.
Yeah. Rush should get a free start. Hoping the follow-up might come into this round, gets a little bit fun, but they did lose native Sapphics in the process, so you're going to be left with just Rush.
Flanked coming as well.
Yeah. That's closing in.
Nice
Lovely
shot.
From Rush, but if he gets this, then sure, but you've got to feel as though Flusher should have this, right?
Both AWPers, if they miss, he has a chance to convert. And JW, well, he doesn't miss this time round. So 10 on the board for Fnatic. They've hit the double digits, and now this one starts to get interesting as the eco will have to be taken for Complexity here. Had no success in the earlier round when they tried to go over towards that B bomb site with all the guns. Maybe they try to make a little bit faster now and capitalize on these rotations of Fnatic. Brolin, the hero there with that double kill, and JW saving his life through the smoke. This was the final frag. Rush does his best to jiggle on out, but it was a left eye peek, and JW takes advantage of that one right there. So let's get back underway. Deagles, HEs. This will go towards the bomb train. Check out this nuke. Well, no one was there ready to receive those, but it would have been deadly.
5 damage.
Yeah. Grand total.
The idea is nice.
Yeah, well, if you can find a freebie like that, it used to be throwing nades like that on old versions of Train just towards the connector position, because as you'd get a much easier duel from T-main towards connector, was positioned much differently. You'd actually come out in the Olaf position before, in 1.6 and Source. All right, well, they've done a bit of crowd control over towards Ivy, and they want to fight towards the sunny side. So Crims is about to have some friends coming on through, and the ones that leave trash all over your apartment. Not the good friends.
I've already apologized for that, chat. God.
Very passive-aggressive, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, Crims has killed one, and he sprays wildly into the smoke for none. Good damage. Should be JW's responsibility to pick up that M4 and get out of dodge. He has. Flash for the repeak as it fades, recovers the M4, and now, as the fresh mag is found, a gap in Ivy is too. Has to fill that gap now, and was vulnerable. Flush has just hit the wall bang. Not sure where he found that. It looks like it was just as he crossed. Poison dead on main. No more issues here. JW's confirmed it, and Blame F falling. So, Fnatic have started, as you asked, Chad, to forge a comeback. Can they do it? We've seen them lose the 15-9 lead, but can they turn it around already with what now proves to be 5 in a row? That's the shot we were wondering and missing. Thank you very much.
3,400 is the loss bonus here for Complexity, so the buy will come back out, but still no AWP for Poison. As they run out of rounds, they will start to discuss the option of, in future rounds, do we just go for that AWP? Do we take a bit more of a save so that Poison can afford the AWP? Config could drop in one right now, but that means that he'll only have Kevlar and an AK with utility. It won't actually mean he will be able to afford that head armor, which is a bit of a problem. So it looks like it will just be the rifles across the board. Blame onto the Galil. 21 for Blame, 28 for Poison, 18 for Config. NATO and Rush slowly catching up. 15 for NATO, 11 for Rush at this stage of the game. And freeze time has trickled on down. Double AWP still out for Fnatic here. So they have the AWPing prowess in their favor going into this round. Molly's towards main. That's going to slow down any aggression towards Ivy. There's 2. Golden's going aggressive himself. Molly is dropped. Hold them at bay. The nade will follow through, but he's going to get locked on in here and has to get out of dodge. Golden down to 32 points of health. The information was good. He will slow down the attack of the Complexity side of things towards Ivy. They're actually going to change guns. So Bogdan's Law coming into play right here.
Still alive and well.
Is he gone to Valorant? Even still play Counter-Strike?
I don't think he's around anymore. Oh, this is too loud.
Roland's actually very isolated here. If you take a look at the radar, there's no one really close to him. You can see Crims at the front of the bomb train kind of hovering in his direction, but he's just jumped up towards connector. So Brolin's on an island right now, and the fact that he's down on 34 points of health will mean he's going to fall on back, and that is the right call, because with 50 seconds left, map territory slowly being garnered from Complexity here. They're going to set up for a set piece. Smoke from Rush here going towards the left-hand side of Ivy to cover off Dark Side. Those backtracks, no vision to be found. And this setup, they've turtled up Fnatic. Check this out. Have a player over towards CT spawn. They retake inner. One towards Hell. One over boosted in towards that connector position. And they've locked them in. So they want them to go backtracks here. Golden caught out.
Yeah, and we need to see if this continues because, as said, Complexity have a little bit more to work with, whereas Fnatic need this clean. But as said, the time now dwindling, things have to start getting a little bit more daring. JW is about to walk into the Lion's Den. There's 1, 2, 3 all around him, and it only takes 1 to find him. Brolin overwhelmed, and suddenly we're getting back on with 8 seconds. That bomb should be planted.
Oh, and they're getting every frag, every fight wins and goes Complexity's way. Just like that, 15 on the board. Fnatic, their streak is broken, and now margin for error reduced to nothing. An AWP preserved. Weapon actually bringing it through to the next will certainly save some economic strife. Rush has managed to confirm his location, though, and there is still plenty of time on that bomb. Will there be a hunt? They ain't too comfy either.
Yeah, it just doesn't want him to get the AWP here, so Flusher dipping that one over the wall, meaning Poison won't be able to get that one for free. Golden's was just here as well, so grabbing that, he can hold on to it. Their money is fantastic on the Fnatic side of things, other than Crims, and they only get the $1,400 loss bonus. So Flusher staying alive, it's likely he will drop a gun for Crims here. Brolin can buy himself, JW the same, and the buy should come back out. But we need 4 on the trot right now if we want to see this one go towards overtime, and Poison, they're taking advantage of that. So they re-smoked the back alley side, which baited Golden forward, thinking he could take more territory with that sound cue. He was fooled. Poison found a massive opening, and then JW, under pressure, knowing he had to take a risk, was also found within that smoke. So as the buy comes back on through, Brolin was dropped across an AUG. Everything is looking pretty right now for the Fnatic side of things. And they've only rocked on him with a single AWP setup, so Flusher wanting to be a little bit more mobile here. He will be soloing that inner bomb site. Standard smokes towards the yard. 5 E-Box coming on through, the Molotovs as well, just to make Fnatic inquisitive. As Brolin pushes forward, clearing out towards Olaf, seeing that nobody's home. And it looks like more of this slow default style from Complexity here. You saw how late it was before they attacked yard in the previous round, all the way down to 20 seconds before they really made their move. No reason they can't go for the same. Don't need the pace change up, don't want to play into the hands and the style of Fnatic here, as they can just whittle down the clock, turn this into an aim map in the later stages. And it really just depends on how long Fnatic want to hold on to this residual utility. So far, it's just 2 smokes remaining. Make that 1 as, well, they've used everything. And there's still a minute on the clock remaining. This is problematic for Fnatic now.
Incredibly so. Complexity have everything to work with. Still good amount of smokes, 2, sure, but substantially more than the opposing side, of course. Molotovs, flashes.
He's pushing.
And map control.
This is going to be an interesting exchange.
This would be a misread. Even, yes, you get rushed, but then you've got the B hit coming in. So if Flusher backed away off the back of that, that would have been a problem. However, it's not to be. The flashes, the smokes get put to play, and Golden now knows what's up.
Yes, and he dinks NATO before he goes down. Poison, however, keeps calling it. JW takes them out. Brolin too. A missed shot. Blame finding the AWPer. He has got time to get the bomb down. It's a 1v2.
Winnable.
Flank behind, though. It's so quick. Is he ready for this?
He's got the bomb. Big problems.
But surely Crims has the timing here. Yeah, Blame's not even checking it. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, well, denying the plant. The money is still good on the Complexity side of things for a buy going into round 28, but good stuff from Fnatic. They're well handled. Pressure starting to mount now, and with only 2 surviving, they're going to be spread a little bit thin here with this purchase. Golden doing his best to slow things down, and JW, the safety net, gets in position just at the right time. Crims with that final frag as 12 rounds now on the board, and frustration, yeah, it would be something to mount. They need 3 in a row. Samiston said they did like pressure. Well, this is a pressure environment, battling against 15 of Complexity. Guns will come back out. They've made the buy work. AWP for JW, Kit's looking good, and utility even better. Brolin getting aggressive again.
Yeah, and this time it's worked out very well, though. Finding Poison removes a huge part of the punch that Complexity has been banking on, but Config could stabilize. It actually doesn't convert it. I really thought he had that one, but it's Crims to find Blame. Russia's success can only last so long. E-Box was locked down. No one really made it off the starting blocks.
Yeah, so the 3,400 being the continued loss bonus here, because if you take a look from round 21 until round 28 with the scores on the doors, only one round has been posted from Complexity. They got off to a 5-round spree in this second half. Pistol, conversion, they battled against the Force Spines. They even managed that first gun round, and that got them all the way up to 14. 15 rounds came in on round 26. But since then, Fnatic have had 2 on the trot. 2 more necessary, and we go into overtime here with map number 1, day number 4 in the decider. Brolin again, he wants to take this space. If he can get early information out here towards Pop or main, he can confirm to his teammates that it will not be the outer yard hit, and we can see a very clear intention off the bat here towards the B side of things. Brolin has Pop, hearing these nades. A rotation is ready. It will be Golden over towards the inner side to help out Flusher, but needs to get there soon. JW held at bay towards Ivy, so a good fake from Rush here, but this is on a timer now.
They got so much time to work with, pulling these incendiaries out just by pressing pause. Blame now deploying his smoke. This is their go. Golden trying to throw one out of his own design to lean the odds back in their favor. They're using the upper part of the map, and it has been Golden that's found the first. Quickly traded. 4-on-4, bomb yet to be planted. That's Conflict's responsibility. He's vulnerable. He's going for it. Could get dunked. Brolin hasn't chosen to nade. It was because Crims had thrown it already. Bomb plant denied.
Yeah, and the others are so far back. They're already poised for a post plant, but they couldn't quite get it, and JW's coming online. Player like him does come alive in pressure moments.
Oh, Rush in a 1-on-4. This is very unlikely now.
I mean, he has at least got 40 seconds, but you can see Flusher is basically just being the backup plan.
It's a big gap. I don't think they know he's here.
No.
If he can do some damage, this isn't the worst thing in the world. 2 kills would be nice from Rush now. Oh, he's found the gap perfectly. And he's just gotten past. He was cleared.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, he's got the kill.
So one of the key, well, not issues there, but one of the strengths for Fnatic in that round was denying that plant, because check out the money situation for Complexity now. As I mentioned just before, the 3,400 was coming on through, but they're just rocking the residual money they had plus the 3,400, which has 2 players 4K, a couple just under that mark, and it probably will be a couple more Galils than AK-47s. So not as potent as they may have wanted Complexity here, and not as potent as if it would have been the plant coming down. So great denial there from Crims and his nade, and that will see Complexity going into round 30 with 3 Galils, 2 AKs, and definitely not full utility, whereas Fnatic have the full buy.
Quite a stark contrast as to what it could have been. So damage inflicted, but can they find the final blow? It's been a great comeback here from Fnatic on the CT side of Train. They've strung together a majority of their rounds in quick succession. 8 of the last 9 rounds of play have gone Fnatic's way. And 1 more will take us into overtime. Wipe that slate clean. MR3 16K on the horizon for the Swedish fans watching tonight. And already a Fnatic frag to overcome the odds. There is a gap, but JW's missed his shots. Crims could get caught here, and he's managed to spray down at least 2. This is getting problematic. Overtime written all over it in permanent marker. Poison's getting dunked on, and we're off to overtime. Fnatic overcoming the odds, and 10 rounds just locked just like that. We'll be back in a moment for overtime.
The sun never goes, it's a feeling. We watch the waves wash over the shore, the horizon was blinding. This could be the end of the world as we know it. Oh, this could be the end of the world as we know it. And we never thought we'd get this far. I'm gonna stay true. These songs I wrote for you. Oh, they make me blue. They make me blue. What did you say to me? You wanted to be free. want you to believe. I want you to believe.
Seeing the stars reminds me of you. Oh, oh, oh. You left me with scars, but I know that one day you'll see it through. You give me air to breathe. You give me. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire.
Map 1, game 1 of the day. It's going OT. Now, we did think that we discussed maybe Fnatic being slightly slower. Starters sometimes coming out not quite playing to their capabilities, but Complexity were unquantifiable sort of team. We were struggling to put our fingers on this one. Most of us went to very low commitments towards Fnatic, for example, but we're going into OT now.
Yeah, and look, some fantastic stuff out of Complexity in that first half. A game that was very close as far as the economic fashion. Poison with a massive game so far, 32 for him, but now the guns are out, 16k. We start to favor Fnatic here. The veterans have a real chance of closing this one out, considering how strong that run of rounds was. We were sitting all the way there at, flush up. Bullet goes awry, but JW gets one on the other side of the map. The scoreline at one point was 14-6 in favor of Complexity. Then they managed to get the next round on the board at 15-11, and then we're all tied up here, 15-15, and underway in overtime with a number advantage for the Swedes.
And we can't help but highlight Poison as well. He's been having a wonderful series. Obviously, incredibly helpful to get that initial scoreline up towards the 15 number, of course. BlameF up there and Config all doing very well for themselves. Rush, a little quieter, and NATO Sapphics, again, a little on the quieter end. But those three were the ones that we look to if there's going to be a big performance. However, these final couple of rounds, as highlighted, not going quite as easy. And that pick that came in towards Rush was over by Ivy. So they've lost out on a part of this hit that was going to come through, but they do get a lot of territory got garnered? Yeah.
Grabbed.
Yeah. Grabbed.
Yeah.
Taken.
Yeah.
Stolen.
Oh, so's that kill. Brolin's just absolutely battered him, hasn't he? Crims bides his time, playing in the smoke. Flush going to get all the attention, and Crims getting all the kills.
Yeah, tucked up real passive here, Fnatic on this one. And JW even pushed Ivy during the fray of all this. So P250 back of the head, wants to make it work. And we've heard from the man himself, if he can get close enough for the knife, he's going to go for it. But in overtime, the P250 will have to do. Closing it out, Mr. Yeppa. JW will be grabbing the last 2 kills of the first round of overtime. And if you're not familiar with the overtime rules, we move into MR3. That's max rounds 3. First to 4 wins overtime. You play on the half that you finish. So for Fnatic, they finish on the CT side. That's where they'll be starting in overtime. And 16k. That's max cash. You'll be able to buy every single round of OT, unless you're going to spend your money in stupid ways. Dropping DACs and all that kind of nonsense.
Who'd do that? Config never would, but he's not going to have much of a chance. He's already dead. Brolin finding the start very quickly. This early presence from Complexity has been met by sheer force. Brolin again, more damage. This man is very present here. Crims, nade ready. May even catch a little bit more damage on that. No. Aggressive play from Rush doesn't really pay out either. This is
they're
a
getting
shutout.
They are on a run.
Yep.
This CT side from Fnatic has awoken them. You can just see it. The frags are coming in thick and fast. The initial aim duels that were previously just conversations of bullets gone awry is now talk of disadvantage for Complexity.
Yeah, I'm starting to grimace now. If Fnatic just take this in clean fashion, you have to consider, I said the scoreline was 14-6. Look at the scoreline now. In the last spree, my maths is terrible, but let's just round it up and say the last 11 rounds, Complexity's only won 1 round. It's probably more than that.
It has been quite streaky, hasn't it?
It's been wild. It's been some absolutely fantastic Counter-Strike out of the Swedes to lock this one down. And if it is a clean sweep going into Vertigo, that is the map pick of Complexity, they're going to remember dropping the ball here at 14-6, losing map number 1. They would have had an opportunity to 2-0. And then I start to favor Fnatic for the 2-0 going into Vertigo. We've seen them pick up 2 big wins with their backs against the wall in overtime. It seems like Fnatic and overtime are synonymous at the moment.
Where would NATO Sapphics be playing on Vertigo?
On that B-bomb site. So an opportunity to get exploited over towards that side of the map, but he can do some secondary AWPing.
Sure, and obviously we're not done with this map yet, but I was just trying to recall the positioning. Poison this time does win the fight, bailing out poor old Rush, who got battered last time. But it was Flush who fell, it was JW who got the kill before. So now we wait and see who's the most patient player of them all. Crims or NATO Sapphics?
Great control. He'll take that and get away. That's a dream. In a 4v5 disadvantage as the CT side, to have someone take initiative, Get the frag and get out. You can't ask for more than that. There is a gap in this hold. You can see it quite clearly on the minimap. Top right corner. No one has information on this walk-up from Poison and Rush. Golden's the closest to it, hence Rush's fingers tapping on that number.
Giving a lot of space here, Fnatic. It's not just towards Ivy. They're also allowing them out main and pop. And it's working. Brolin with his AUG has been absolutely phenomenal in these last spree of rounds.
Give the guy a scope rifle. Rolling it back to the Creek days.
Oh, Rush, that's a nice swing. And now we're in a 3-on-3 situation. Golden's going to smoke them off and try and force them around the back lines. But through the smoke, Rush goes, taking that lick of damage from the nade. And the bomb will get planted. But look who's on the flank. It's Mr. JW.
And Crims just wants to buy time. The longer he stays there and being a nuisance, the better. And look how the angles that now Fnatic maintain. You have the deeper angle with Golden here. Might be rumbled by Rush, but the timing actually works out very well. Now Rush shoots, gives away the game, and Fnatic get the clean sweep there.
And it's feeling likely that they just take this next round. They can go with whatever option they want on this T side. Do they want to go bully Netosafix towards inside with all 5 off the bat? Because they were able to get control of the inner bomb site in 3-on-5 situations, just had a hard time converting.
Yeah.
And you have to just note that Rush brought into a secondary AWP here to kick off overtime. Interested to see if he's dropping it to Poison or keeping it for himself, and he will be wielding it. So he's at a rough time of things over towards Ivy on that CT side. A very, very rough first half for Rush and NATO. And so we get back underway. 4-man lean towards Yard and towards inner. It looks like it's going to be straight away. Poison, what can you do? That's a huge shot onto JW. So taken out immediately will be one of the prongs of the Fnatic attack. And back towards Pop Dog they go. So Config to stand and deliver here. He's locked in.
Crims get that frag. That's not an easy one on the Z-axis. Controlling the spray nicely. Finding the head of Config. And again, it's Crims that equals the odds. That's 2 opening picks. Complexity have found it. Crims once on the CT side and now here on the T has equalized.
If they go all the way back through Ivy, they might be in with a real shot here, Fnatic, because they've pressured towards inner. They've drawn a rotation. They locked Config in. The reason he had to push forward was because they had mollied behind him through the windows, which meant he could run back through the molly, potentially go down to a main player, or push forward and get some kills. Well, he didn't get the kills, and now we have that 4-on-4. So back towards Yard we go. Smoke looking ready, deployed towards the Pop Dog position. Next fight. Well, Rush only gets the tag.
It's not ideal. Need from Blame to finish the job. Oh, Crims gets low. 2 of them are, but it's not low enough. Rush caught out. Fnatic advantage, albeit not in the health department. Golden, this is an important frag, and Blame's found it. Now, the majority of them low. Flush has got a lot to do on Blue Train. Poison's hidden from it for now. They've got great crossfires. It could be the complexity first here. It's a necessary round, and Blame's found the necessary frag. Flusher can't find yet an tap of the mouse. Crims once again keeping things level and then some. Spots the last. They know where he is. He does find him, and Flusher's pivoted straight to the inner sight.
Flusher's away, isn't he? Just never stopped for a second. Being hunted down straight away by Blame, though, so this is going to be a fun game of cat and mouse. And oh, Blame's called his bluff.
He wins! He wins the round! You smart bastard! Blame F. Gets schooled, Flusher. Going for the fake. He could hear him coming. Blame calls the bluff.
That's the new language that we're working on for the Men in Black sequel.
Yeah.
We're actually going to be starring in it. 2 Brits and a Git, they're going to call that.
It's a well-known one.
Yeah.
One.
Coming to a screen near you.
They've actually just had to opt for us because no one else can get out there at the moment to do any acting gigs. So they've opted for 3 Counter-Strike commentators.
It's a unique casting choice. Yeah. They look for casting. Okay, I see. Regardless, it is going to be Crims dropping his smoke if he needs to. Doesn't have to. Tucked into that close corner. A HE would be a dream right now. Blame has the opportunity. He does just play anti. For the incendiary instead. That does isolate Crims, and that's his intention now to find it. Might want to call for the flash. Not a fight you really want to be taking dry. Poison doesn't have one, so he'll be dropping something else instead. A nade. And a re-smoke as well. Really denying this part of the map. They want to contend and contest. Really, 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 Blame? Ooh.
Oh.
Another Crims frag. The guy's having a game here. 36. He has pulled Fnatic back into this map.
Config with 19, he's going to have to find a couple in a round like this because we can see Fnatic now retooling towards the inner bomb site. JW already poshed up towards high ramp.
He's been there a while.
Yeah, and he can deal with the rotation. Once they hit this inner site, oh, NATO spotted him. The call will come through. They have to run down NATO now.
He goes wide, costs him his life. Bomb will be planted in the retake. Not looking fun. This could be the last round of play here. on Train, despite what was a sterling lead, 14, what was it, to 6?
Something like that.
14-6, yeah.
14 to 6, now 19 to 16, unless Poison can find more of those. He opens up onto Golden.
JW waits very, very patiently, but he has to be cautious. Once that smoke fades, trouble could be brewing. Rush there, config there, but double orbs on retake. We know the scenario never favors, so Flusher well and truly posted forward. Fight one, JW comes out, and they still have the safety net of Crims. Poison gonna be called upon here. Time's almost out. He's done a great shot, but the round looks like it's all Fnatic's, and they deserve it as well. A valiant comeback. Your shots are great, Poison, but it doesn't matter. Fnatic win the round and win the game.